What will it be like to age in the coming decades? And are you ready for it? Today, we're going to talk about the future of medical technology and healthy aging. Until just a few years ago, very recently, it was bold to think of a future with all of these innovative technologies. As an example, virtual assistants. Just think of in the near future, virtual assistants that will remind people and that can take medication to help aging people. Just think about remotely monitored biosensors that are able to detect changes in various indicators in your body. And it'll be able to release medication as needed to ensure that you're healthy. How about watches? Watches that detect you falling. Or how about refrigerators? Refrigerators connected to applications, to various applications. It's all connected. And it will determine healthy and appropriate diets for people in your house, for each individual. How about smart homes? Let's take it to the next step. We'll have smart homes that'll detect changes in different parameters in your body, like a person's temperature or other parameters, to know if you're suffering from some type of an ailment or a disease. Or how about AI, artificial intelligence, which is continuing to progress to improve social health, mental and physical activity, promoting wellness, reducing healthcare costs for people as they age? How about various treatments consisting of arithmetic, writing, reading exercises to reduce the delay of onset of dementia? Or how about vaccinations? Vaccinations for diabetes, cancer, kidney disease, heart disease. Just think about this: cancer, heart disease, those types of ailments. We may see them as how we see polio today. That technology will advance to that degree. What a wonderful thing it would be to be able to talk about cancer or heart disease that way. Now, furthermore, these changes will not only include you or your family, but these changes will extend to your entire community. They can be available. These services, these products can be available at like healthy stops, nearby, on the street, in your community. And I think what's most important is that adulthood and aging won't be defined by ailments, by diseases, by limitations, and how you can function. Rather, it'll be an extension of an age where, as you age, you can thrive. You can continue to be vital. You can keep working. You can keep doing what you love. And you can stay connected. And you can live within your community. You can continue to live where you choose to live, and not necessarily in a home or some other location. What a great thing. What a bright future. Now, I'd like to talk a bit about a couple things that we've identified, which we see as pillars for a new future of healthy living and of healthy aging. We see two things here that I'd like to highlight. One is artificial intelligence, and two is disease prevention. These will be two great pillars that'll be part of That'll be a remarkable shift in global health, especially for people who are aging. Now, there will always be emerging diseases. We know this. We know that viruses mutate over time. We know that they change. And so we expect that there will be new diseases out there in the future. In this case, mental health, behavioral health, suicide, social isolation, loneliness, these types of things will be at the forefront. They'll be known issues, and communities and governments will have these things identified and will be working to address them. Now, in terms of companies, they'll need to take critical steps to transition, to adapt to all of this change in order to stay competitive. They'll need to adopt emerging technology. Voice of customer, asking people what they really need. Creating partnerships with other business owners, analyzers, etc. Providing timely feedback on patients. Other information, based on biosensors. As an example, biosensors people will use those routinely, and they can detect chronic diseases, chronic ailments that are untreated. They'll be able to detect when people need emergency care. Now, it's expected that the global healthcare system in the future is going to shift its focus. It'll focus more on prevention rather than offering cures and treatment and maintenance. And we can already see that today, that in many healthcare plans, it's very common now that preventive exams, physical exams, as an example, are covered under healthcare plans. We can see the progress in this area, and it's only going to continue to improve. It's expected that intervention and treatment, when it's needed, it's going to be more precise. It's going to be less complicated, less complex, less invasive, and it's going to be more affordable. We're already seeing this more and more often. The improvement in surgical procedures, less invasive procedures to ensure that patients are treated and that they're able to recover in a very timely manner. Now, as we've already mentioned, now, if there are cures for existing diseases, existing ailments, and if there are more precise treatments for heart disease, cancer, for diabetes, for many chronic illnesses, naturally there will be different challenges that are going to emerge. A great problem to have, that if heart disease, cancer, diabetes are going away, it will become much less likely. Focus then will shift to areas like mental health, behavioral health, treatment, identification of depression, suicide, social isolation. And we know very well about social isolation these days. These things will be presented as new epidemics. And in addition, treatment will be more holistic. We'll take a systemic approach. We'll look more globally. We'll look more as a whole. Preventive measures. Now, this trend that we see here, focus on mental health, There's already been a global response to this. Governments around the world are already taking action on this. And there's a new industry now that's being formed with new government policies, new regulations in various countries. It's very interesting to see different steps that different markets have been taking. Various examples include the United Kingdom. There was a ministry of loneliness that was created by the United Kingdom. Or how about in the United States? There was a special Senate committee on aging, and there were hearings on isolation and loneliness. In Argentina, the Directorate for the Elderly, the National Mental Health Directorate, have been formed and are working. In Mexico, as an example, psychiatric care services are now part of the Ministry of Health. Brazil, Iberia, the list goes on about different countries that are taking action. So now we have to ask ourselves, as global society, this new paradigm is now being created, and it's going to benefit everybody, everyone around the world. The question is this: are you ready for it?